What's up, ladies and gents, Ghost here. I hope you guys are having a fantastic Easter break. I've been relaxing quite a lot at home over the Easter break with my children, so it's been great for me. Hope you guys are having fun as well. And the time has finally come for the Q&A, so thank you all so much for your questions. I actually got much more than I was really hoping, well, not much more than I was hoping for, but more than I expected, shall we say. So thank you to everybody who submitted a question. If I don't get round to you in this episode, I'll try and do my best to answer it in the next episode. So let's get started. I figured the best way to do this would to be sort of mix the Battlefield 4 questions and also the questions about myself. So I'm going to sort of do one BF4 or YouTube related question and then one about myself. Alright, so the first question comes in from Tic Tac Foe, and he says, if you had to make a Battlefield 4 soup, what would the ingredients be? Well, I think first of all I would definitely chop up a healthy dosage of netcode and I would throw that into the mix, which probably doesn't come as a big surprise. After that, definitely a few ounces of teamwork, I think, and maybe even some esports competitiveness. So it would be great to actually see Battlefield 4 become an esport. I was actually talking to somebody earlier today about this. I was really hoping that Battlefield 4 would be more of an esport than it actually turned out to be. But with all the netcode issues and as well as just the format of the game with so many players, so many vehicles and different variables, it's really very difficult to actually balance out and turn into something competitive, especially with random things like the nade spam within the game. So I feel like nade spam is kind of like when you're making a soup and you're putting in cayenne pepper or something and the lid comes off and you just miss the whole jar in there, you know what I mean? I feel that's what happened with the nade spam in Battlefield 4. Alright, next question comes in from RollingSquad. He's also known as War Spirit 2 in-game, and he says, Ghost, I'm from the Swag Platoon on Battlelog. Are you still going to play with me, Dolce, Choppy, Spanjay, and Snuggly Sniper? Well, it's not that I don't want to play with you guys, man. It's just usually that over on the Mumble channel, they're unavailable. So for those who don't know, all of these guys that he's listing here are other YouTubers, and Dolce and Spanjay have this Mumble channel where we usually all frequent most of the daytime, and really the fact of the matter is that they have this private channel that only they have access to, so I have really no way of communicating with them over on the Mumble server. So it's not specifically that I don't want to play with them or collaborate with them in some way, it's just that they seem pretty sort of closed off from the rest of the community, man. You know, also collaborating with other YouTubers is something I've wanted to do for a long time. It's something I tried doing when I was a bit of a younger channel and it didn't really work out so well. Now I've gotten a little bit bigger, I'd really like to try it again, but it's just so difficult, you know. Like, I'm doing my own thing and all the other YouTubers, they're doing their own thing, you know. Dolce's streaming and he's doing stuff with Matt the Musketeer, and it's just really difficult to coordinate that kind of stuff. But if anyone is watching out there and they want to collaborate with me, feel free to do so. I've got plenty of ideas of things, especially like I had an idea where I really wanted to do a series where I could be in one of the jets and really sort of help support my team from the ground whilst being on some sort of voice communications like Mumble, and, you know, really play for the team in the jet rather than just for farming kills. Alright, next one comes in from Melon, and she says, do your kids ever watch you play, or would you rather not let them see a violent game until they're old enough? Well, I try and discourage them from doing kind of violent activities. Like, you know, my son is 6 years old, I don't buy swords and guns, to be honest, things that I actually had when I was a kid. I try and have unisex toys for both of the kids, so I have a daughter as well, who is 4 years old, and I try and buy things like balls and, you know, things that both genders can play with. I never really bought swords and guns for my son and Barbie dolls for my little girl, but it still seems that they've both turned out that way regardless, you know, just through society, going to nursery for my daughter, and my son is now in school, so they've sort of learned through their peers and through their friends that that is just what girls do and this is what boys do. And, you know, my son already has a big interest in computer games. He's always asking me if he can go on my computer to play a game, if he can go on my phone, if he can go on the Wii U, and I'm like, no, you know, you're not old enough yet. But personally for me, I played computer games that were probably far too violent for me at the age that I played them, and I turned out fine. At least I did, in my opinion. It's maybe not an opinion you guys agree with, but in my opinion, I'm doing pretty alright. So I don't really think it has a huge impact on children, to be honest. I think it's much more about giving them the love that they deserve and the correct upbringing. Alright, next question is from Glossy, and he says, what are your goals regarding YouTube? Well, goals, I don't know, that's a bit of a difficult one. At the moment, I'm just doing it because I enjoy it. You know, I've always enjoyed playing computer games from a very young age, and that has just never changed. That has really been my only hobby in life that I have never found has swayed in any way. I've always loved computer games. I've been playing them since I was a little kid, and getting to talk about things that I really enjoy, and especially concentrating on tips and sort of helping myself and other people improve as well, is what really interests me. So at the moment I'm doing it because I enjoy it, and seeing growth in my channel and having people who support me, like all you guys who are regulars over on the stream, all you guys who always comment and like my videos, that means so much to me. And in terms of goals, I mean, I don't really have a goal, you know. I'm just going to see how far I can get. I mean, in the long run, if I could do this somehow as a living, that would be fantastic, because I love doing this. It's, you know, my favourite hobby, the thing I spend the most amount of time doing in my free time. But that said, it's a very long way to actually reach that goal, so I'm not sure if it's really realistic. Either way, I'm going to carry on doing this, guys, whether it's becomes my job or not, because I find it enjoyable and I find it fun, and most of all because I love interacting with you guys. Alrighty guys, so those are the questions I've had time for in this episode. Don't worry if I didn't answer your questions, I do have them all written down, and I'm thinking of doing another episode probably next weekend. I might make this a weekend thing, so I'll answer anybody's questions who I didn't answer today next week. And if you guys would like to submit more questions, then feel free to do that down below, and let's see how this series goes. Feel free to ask me on pretty much anything, you know, within reason. So when it comes to my personal life, obviously there are certain boundaries that I'm not really ready to step over, but when it comes to Battlefield 4, you know, let's get some good discussion going on hot topics within the game. Ask me about tips if you want some specific tips on something. Pretty much anything, guys. So leave your comments down below, questions, and I will incorporate those into the next episode. Alright guys, as always, thank you so much for your support and for watching. If you enjoyed the video, a like down below will be really appreciated, and I will see you guys in the next one. Cheers.